Good afternoon and welcome to the Las Vegas Rotary Club, a connection to this fine city like no other. With friendship and camaraderie, you can actually feel, providing a grounding and a foundation in service to others that at times will go unrecognized but fully realized by those you've served. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Okay. This microphone sounds weird in my ears. Today, I'd like to bring Judith Pinkerton up to the podium. We have a guest with honor. Actually, she will be a leader in speaking for us in February. But I was really crossed up with her being here today, and she was going to give us an invocation.
Thanks, Kurt. Oh, this is my home club for sure, but I'm all the way from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, in the Rotary Club there. Yeah. As we transition together through seasons of change, I am eager to share with you my new way of living life. I joined the Coeur d'Alene Rotary Club, so I commute now between Idaho and Las Vegas monthly. Many of you may remember the day exactly 5 years ago when I brought a newborn baby to the luncheon. And I'm happy to say that she is now our adopted daughter, and she just turned 5. Life is such a blessing. We can't imagine not having her in our life. So as we collectively survived the pandemic and continue to strive to maintain good health, positive energy, and enthusiasm for our personal, business, and community, the families that include service projects here, I want to include in joining us together with the presence of God in our midst. Let my eyes be open to the miracle of life. Let all my dreams come true as I watch life unfold through eyes wide with amazement. Let me awake and see the beauty in me, through me, and that surrounds me. Let me hear the joyful sound of music that makes my heart sing. Let me be thankful for friendship that lovingly embraces me. Let me always remember the caring Rotarians that I see. Let me thank God now for my health, sharing my wealth through my desire to serve others above self. And together we affirm our good, our God, by saying amen.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. Mr. Engel in his ladder is not present, so I've asked Cedric Kane to please fill in.
Okay, everybody. How about America the Beautiful? Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Thank you. Thank you, Sidra. Appreciate it. All right. Our Pledge of Allegiance is led by our Sergeant-at-Arms, Suzette Wheeler. She's in the back of the room.
Yep. Okay, ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, before you're seated, please, on the screen, we will recite the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Very good. Please be seated. All right, today, let's build something together. Rotary Moments shared by Mike Kudamont. Come on, sign a brick for me, Mike.
So, good noon, everyone. I was asked to share a Rotary Moments. So, go ahead and just 3 minutes of your time. There are several Rotary moments in my life, actually. So, I got 3 minutes, so I'll just focus on one. And this is the Rotary Youth Exchange. I grew up in Southern Philippines. Rotary has been in the family already. My father was a Rotary member and a president. And in my senior high school year, I was asked if I want to be an exchange student. 15-year-old, you know. So I said, sure, why not? Feeling adventurous. So I was approved and got chosen to represent our Rotary Club to be a exchange student. So at 15 years old, I flew to Michigan, at 15 years old. First time that I've been in an international flight. 15-year-old and so scared, and no internet, no cell phones. What if I get lost in the airport? Who's gonna? So anyway, so I became an exchange student and was very happy, and the experience was life-changing. You have an international outlook already at 15 years old. Now, move forward. I joined Rotary Club, Las Vegas Rotary Club, which is the greatest Rotary Club in the world. So I'm happy to be here. And a couple years after joining, I was plucked by Kimberly McMahon to join the SCANEX. SCANEX is is a multi-district Rotary organization dealing with Rotary Exchange. States, Hawaii, California, Southern Nevada, Arizona, and Utah are member of this SCANEX organization who facilitates exchange students from all over the world. I was chosen to represent or coordinate South America. So I'm a South America country coordinator for SCANEX, which last year I brought in 5 students from Brazil, Chile, and Argentina. Same way, 5 students went out to those countries too. So, cut it short, that's just my Rotary moment. I mean, it's an arc, from a young age to now where we are, I'm still with Rotary. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. All right, so I would like to thank everybody that helped with today's meeting. Set up, Bob Warner and Demetrius Kouris. Our greeters at the door, Andrew Thurlow and Mijong Lombardi. I didn't see Mijong. Is Mijong here? I believe it was Antoinette Monroe. Oh, there she is. Very good. So we had 3 of them. Okay. Stu Lipoff on marketing presentations at the guest table, welcoming our group today. Who was that? Was that also Antoinette, or was that Liz? Okay, we have both of you. Thank you both. Thank you both. And Bob Pizer on raffle ticket sales. Closing up the meeting today, Bob Mars and Michael Williams. Recording history, our scribe Larry Goldstein, and Facebook streaming, Rod Tucker. Capturing the moment, meeting photographer Sarah Thornton. Thank you, past President Mike Ballard, for introducing Sarah Thornton to the Las Vegas Rotary Club. So at the head table, I have our speaker today, Minja. Yes. Yes. Sarah Thornton. And everything that happens for my agenda, for our speakers, and everything else, Mike Ballard's right arm, Riley Triggs. Thank you very much. All right. Now, with that, I'd like to find out all the guests that are in the room. So let's start with guests of the club. We have any guests of the club? Those are guests of Rotarians. Okay, so we have no guests that have walked in or anything. Okay, so we have guests of Rotarians.
Hello, everyone. My name is Narek. I have a guest from New York, one of my best friends, Chris. You like that?
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris. Visiting from New York. Love to be here. Happy to be at the best Rotary Club in the country. Yeah, thank you, guys.
I have a guest, Mark. We have known each other for many years. I used to work for him, and after a few months, excuse me, I got it reversed. He started working for me, and after a few months, I started working for him. He was recently CEO of Shufflemaster.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. Bert has been telling me so much about Rotary for so long, and I decided to try it today. So I'm really looking forward to the meeting. I have no idea what's going to happen next, but I am looking forward to it. And yes, we've known one another for longer than most of you have been alive.
Welcome.
Very nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other guests of Rotarians? I have one. She's sitting right here to my right. Anissa, will you stand up? Anissa Willard is actually a connection with Deb Granda through another Rotarian, and she is currently working with us on, she's from Block Hub, and she's currently working with us on our merchant fees. So welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You bet. All right. So for announcements today, we have another one? Excuse me.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tiffany Harris, and I am with Richmond Rotary, which is in the Bay Area, which is truly the best Rotary group in the world. And this is actually my second time visiting. I think I visited maybe a year and a half ago, and this was my visiting Rotary so I can get my blue badge. And the last time I was here, I forgot to bring the flag, so I'm bringing it this time. Thank you for having me. Yes, you did.
Yeah, can we get a picture of that, Sarah? Sarah, let's get a picture of that? We have a banner for her?
She already has one.
Oh, you have one from last time. Oh, very good. All right.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deb Granda, and I have visited here a few times before. The first time I visited here, I stayed for 13 years. And I'm now a member of the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina Rotary, and I'm very happy to be here with my family.
Welcome, Deb.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we have one at my club, yeah. Okay.
Other visiting Rotarians? Don't want to miss anyone. I mean, honestly. So she left our club and went to a club in Idaho.
I have visited several times, so I did not bring a flag with me or to exchange because we've done that. But I'm just so glad always to be here. It just feels like home.
Well, you're part of our extended family, so you don't need to bring a flag. Any others? Anybody else in the room? All right. So on to our announcements for today. So we have Rod Tucker discussing a little bit about a debrief of our Alpine Picnic and our upcoming 25 Club at Huddle. Gwen Hall, Halloween Candy Teacher Recognition. Anybody here attend SOAR? Anyone attend SOAR? Can you give us, okay, Karen. Karen's going to talk a little bit about the golf putting tournament and SOAR at the same time. Tina, do you want to talk a little bit about, you're there, okay, good. And I'd like to thank Don Holland for transporting the kids to Huntington Beach for the surfing lessons that they had. Apparently they had an absolute blast. And Janice Lenke to talk a little bit about One Drop Walk. Oh, I guess Tina's doing that, okay. And our VIP tour of the water treatment plant, Rosalie Hedrick. Highway cleanup, David Squire, I don't think he's here. We have a highway cleanup coming up on the 19th of October. Same usual place out at Bonnie Springs. And Jim Hunt for Cigar Social. Give us an announcement about that.
Okay. You may recall last time I tried to do this, I had to have 2 support staff. So this time they've given me notes. Let's see how badly I can eat this up. All right. We kicked off the canned food drive on the 9th at 3 Square. We wanted that knowledge to migrate to everybody here so you know it's up and running. And Stu Liphoff, living proof that boomers can do technical things, has created a QR code for everyone that they can find on our Facebook page. If we have room, it'll be published in the Wheel. And then there was one other location you said it would be in? Oh, everyone in the club got an email. Now, the purpose of the QR code is one of 2 things. You can use it for your own benefit if you'd like to, but really what we're trying to do is get you to propagate it onto people you know. Throw the QR code to them and let them make contributions. For those of you who are trying to make corporate contributions and the QR code really isn't the most ideal, you can do it on the Green Book or contact Sean directly, and she's familiar with how all that works. All right, so canned food drive's underway. We'll finish it up the Wednesday before the Thursday before Thanksgiving. Don't ask me what date that is. Yeah, I said the Wednesday before the Thursday before Thanksgiving. Yeah, right? Did I do that right? Oh, someone knows the date. Thank you. All right, meeting duties in the Green Book if you want or online, but if you are unable to attend to that at last minute, you're responsible for finding a substitute. The next 25 club meeting, which is bounced right there, is at Huddle. That'll be this coming Thursday, and it's down in the Arts District. You may recall they came and talked to us once about their brewery. So we will start at 6 and provide some light snacks. There'll be a cash bar and food available for purchase. We're coordinating with the barbecue joint that's right next door, so beer and barbecue, how do you beat that? You can sign up for that in the Green Book as well. And then lastly, but most importantly, also the Boy Scouts will be doing a presentation for us at Huddle. But the most important thing is to thank Thomas's for allowing us to use their home again up at Lee Canyon for the Alpine Picnic. And yeah, that was one righteous fun endeavor. So the weather was stunning for this time of year. It worked. Thank you very much.
Gwen Hall, and I'm with the Education Committee. And I wanted to just update you on where we started. Most of you know that our cornerstone schools were William Beckley and Walter Bracken. Now, Will Beckley, remember Marie Walsh was there for years, and when she moved on, and thank you for putting the bricks around her tree, because she was the foundation of our committee. She was replaced by Deb Howard, but Deb had to leave, and now we have Tina Bishop, who is also on the board and representing the Education Committee, and we anticipated she'll give us extra benefits like Stu did. Walter Bracken, Dr. Kathy, she says she's been there 28 years. Nobody that I know gives more of her time and money, and we appreciate it. Then along came 3 years ago, Mike Ballard became the president, and he added Laura Deering, Howard Hollingsworth, Walter Long, and McCall. Those happen to be the schools that he attended when he was in elementary school here in Las Vegas. Wonderful addition. I have Laura Deering, and it's my honor to work with them. Howard Hollingsworth, we had a little trouble there, and we were almost ready to say we needed a different school. Then Stu Liphoff took over as liaison. and his professionalism, his easygoing, and kindness, Hollingsworth is still one of our schools. Walter Long, Michael Williams has stepped up, and all these people that you see, I don't know where Michael is, but stand up, Michael. These are all the people that you would see if you went to Breakfast with Books, because we're all there every week. Thank you, Michael. I gotta get McCall. We also had a little trouble keeping somebody who could maintain it, but Bob Pizer stepped up and has done a wonderful job of working with Amanda Lush. And I think Amanda Lush has to have the best name that I know of. But thank you all for every bit of the candy that you've already contributed and that you're going to contribute in 2 more weeks, within 2 weeks, and make Halloween better.
Okay. I have 3 announcements. I'm going to do the shortest one first. Don Holland isn't here today, but I wanted to make sure that everybody noted the date change for the next Wetzel Awards. It's going to be October 24th after this meeting at 3 o'clock at Nellis. So, and I think it's updated in the Green Book. I want to talk to you about Walk for Water. Remind you to sign up for One Drop's Walk for Water at the Springs Preserve on November 9th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. When we need water, all we need to do is turn on a faucet. There's many people in the world that it's not so easy to get fresh, clean water at their home. At this event, as a walker, you'll be encouraged to carry a bucket for the 2 miles of the walk, to represent the trek that many have to make just to get fresh, clean water every day. We need volunteers to sign up in the Green Book to walk, and also volunteers to coordinate everybody to get where they need to be. And we'll also have a Rotary education table. So look for those pages in the Green Book. Just so you know, I've reached out to Tim Warren's kids from Palo Verde High School and invited them to walk with us. I have not heard back yet. And I also sent a message out to Luann Wagner at Clark High School for our Interact kids to walk with us. Have not heard, but for your part, please sign up in the Green Book. And my last one is Honor Flight that I mentioned last week. I want to invite you all to gather with us at Harry Reid Airport. We're going to be gathering in Terminal 1, Level 2 above baggage claim at 5 p.m. We're going to welcome home the flight, the honor flight from Washington, D.C., where one of our own past members, Ted McAdam, will be returning. We want to welcome him back with flags and posters and lots of well wishes. So you're all invited to come. Oh, the date is October 20th.
Okay, I have 2 announcements. This past Monday was the SOAR, and that's Safety Officer Awards and Recognition down at City Hall. And this was honoring our first responders. We awarded, on behalf of Southern Nevada Rotary Club, 16 awards to Boulder City Police and Fire, CCSD, Department of Public Safety, Clark County Fire, City of Henderson Fire, City of Henderson PD, Metro PD, LA Fire, Mesquite Fire and Police, North Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, and the Nevada AG's office, Nevada Highway Patrol, and the U.S. Marshals. If you've never had a chance to go to one of these ceremonies, try next year. It's always in September. And just one short story, they tell why they're getting that award. And there was one where it was a domestic call for Metro, and they got there and it was a hostage situation, so they called in SWAT. The SWAT officer went in and he got shot 4 times. And once in the vest, and then the other 3 were critical. And he went through a year of all kinds of procedures. He had to relearn how to shoot with his left hand, and he's now back in SWAT. So, those are the heroes that we have in our community. My second announcement, as you know, the putting tournament is finally on Monday night at Angel Park at 5:30. Everybody's gotten emails on it, so I'm not going to elaborate on it. We look forward to having a great event. All the proceeds go to support the Rotary Youth Exchange Program of the Las Vegas Rotary Club. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, I'm here to update you about the Las Vegas Valley Water District Treatment Center Facility Tour that we are doing for corporate tours. Want to remind you that it will be October 29th. It's going to be from 2 to 3 in the afternoon. $25 cost. The money goes to the foundation. We already have, I believe, 10 people signed up. The limit is 20, so those of you who want to attend, you need to get in the green book. You need to get your driver's license to Sean by October 10th is a deadline. We have to send them in advance to the Las Vegas Valley Water District to do a background check. So if the green book is circulating, make sure you get signed up if you want to go. And the attendance limit was 20, so that's what they're allowing. But anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun, very informative, and we look forward to having a great time.
Thank you, Rosalie. I think I'm supposed to start by saying I'm past President Jim Hunt, and I'm the chairman of the Cigar Fellowship. And we're going to have a sign up in the Green Book next week, but today you're going to want to mark your calendars for our 30th, if you can believe it, 30th Cigar Fellowship, since we started this many years ago. And it's again going to be hosted at the home of Tom and Jane Krob on October 26th, which is a Saturday. It's going to be a combination Cigar Fellowship / Halloween party. Costumes are not required, but strongly encouraged to have a lot of fun. It'll be kind of neat to see, Betty Boop smoking a cigar or something like that. So this is going to be also hosted by the family of Rotary. It should be a really nice night. If you haven't been up to Tom's house yet, it's at the very top of Far Hills, overlooks the whole city, fabulous place, and it's great of them to host it. As always, it's a whopping $10 donation to the foundation. I think everybody knows the drill, but if you don't have any idea about how we do these, just bringing 3 cigars if you smoke them, 1 for the troops, 1 for an exchange, and 1 for yourself. It's a potluck. It's going to be a great time. Mark your calendars, October 26th. Thanks.
Very good. And one last thing, to kind of add to the Service Officer Award recognition, that was designed and put together by a member of this club. Janie Lynn left a few years ago now. It's like about 8 or 9 years ago. And she did a phenomenal job with it. I believe it's like in its 23rd year, something like that. So SOAR is a really big deal. Thank you all for your announcements. I'd like to, let's see. There's just one other thing that was on the announcements that I wanted to make sure of, and that is the Honor Flight, Terminal 1, the 20th of October. What time was it, Tina? At 5 p.m.? 5 p.m., okay. Everybody's assembling at 4 Ted McAdam. Awesome guy. Love that man. And with that, let's draw for the raffle today. So Mr. Kwan, it's not a 9, it's a 1. The number for today is 7217. 7217. Suzette, all right. Joker time. Yeah, you do get a lot of them. Ah, 5 of hearts. Rip it. Rip it. We live to fight another day. Thank you for playing. You want me to take that? Yeah. Very good. Thank you. All right, and for the Lowry Bucks, it's 7088. 7088. Eight eight 7088. We know that 7087's on the floor. Anybody have 88? No, 7088. Oh. Wow. So we're going to have to try another ticket, it sounds like. Here we go. And so for the Lowry Bucks, the second ticket number is 7255. 7255. Are you sure? Are you sure, Steve? Check that ticket. All right. And with that, we'll take a little bit of time for fellowship. We've got about 10 minutes before we bring up the speaker.
Can you hear me? Now can you hear me? Now can you hear me? From your diaphragm. My name is Sarah. Thank you so much for coming today. I am so excited about our speaker and so honored to be able to introduce her. We all know our speaker. We have seen her at our centennial celebration. She wrote an amazing article about our club for the centennial. She's been here multiple times. She is in commercial real estate, and they are lucky to have her at Millennium. But she is also a placemaker and a community activist, which is one of the reasons I love her so much, and I'm so proud of all of the things she's done today. So not only do we get to hear a wonderful speaker and learn more about their reimagining of Chinatown, but we got prime rib. So like, what else do we want today? Nothing. Today's the best day, right? One of the things that I wanted to mention about our speaker is that, and I've said this before, she really embodies our four-way test. And one of the ways you can see that is how she participates with our community. She's a board member of the Mob Museum, the UNLV Lee Business School Alumni Chapter, and the Asian American and Pacific Islander Chamber of Commerce. She also serves on the Channel 13 Community Advisory Board and the Urban Land Institute America's Women's Leadership Initiative Executive Committee, in addition to what she is going to talk to us about today. So please help me welcome Minja Yan. I would hold it close.
Hello. Wow. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak at the best Rotary Club in the world. So my name is Minja, like ninja, but with an M. That's like my opening remarks slogan. And I'm so glad to be here today with you to talk about the history of Chinatowns across the country, some of the existing problems and challenges these Chinatowns are facing across the country. And then I will go back to Las Vegas, our city, to talk about the history of our local Chinatown, how it started, and some of the challenges that we are currently facing locally, and then the redevelopment plan that I'm currently working with Clark County Office of Economic Development and Commissioner Justin Jones' office, which is a redevelopment plan for the Spring Mountain corridor from I-15 all the way to Jones. And then there's a parcel on Rainbow and Spring Mountain. That's where the Koreatown Plaza is located. And we just recently finished first phase 1 of our redevelopment plan. So I can share you a lot of photos and community outreach events that we have hosted over the summer, and some of the feedbacks and ideas community members shared with us on what they would like to see being improved in their neighborhood. So welcome to the best Chinatown in the world, Las Vegas Chinatown. Oh, maybe I have to scroll down. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I would just ask you to press the button for me, please. Okay. So there are many Chinatowns across the world. Can any of you name one of these 4 cities? Yes. San Francisco. What else? New York. What else? Not Chicago. Nope. So anybody? Nope. Overseas. Foreign country. Nope, not China. Not Hong Kong. Not Singapore. Okay, so the top left Chinatown is in San Francisco. Top right is in New York. Bottom left is in Japan. There's a Chinatown in Japan. And then the bottom right is in Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand. So there are many Chinatowns across the world, and for this presentation, I'll focus more on the history of Chinatowns in the U.S., just to narrow down our scope of presentation. So next slide, please. Yep. So not all Chinatowns are the same. Every Chinatown is different. It has its own uniqueness, its founding story, its community. Some Chinatowns started in 1860s. Some started in maybe later in 1970s-ish. And our Las Vegas Chinatown, when Chinatown Plaza first opened It broke ground in 1993 and it opened in 1995. So there are many Chinatowns, but some of the common elements are all of them have a very resistant community that they're supporting each other, is an economic hub for small businesses. How many of you have been to these amazing restaurants? You know, in our Chinatown, do you know that there are over 300 restaurants from I-15 to Rainbow alone on Spring Mountain? So it's an employment hub, it's an economic hub for small businesses, for laborers, and a lot of these Chinatowns serve as a social and economic network while also serving as a secondary home for early immigrants who immigrated into the US. So next slide, please. That's me. Can anybody guess where is this Chinatown located? Not San Francisco, not Japan, not LA, not New York. This one is in Washington, D.C. Yes. So I was in D.C. in May for a trip, and I decided to visit their Chinatown. And this is a historic Chinatown arch, a gate that they have. But unfortunately, I was a little upset during this trip because this gate is like the only thing that tells people that their Chinatown once existed in history. So besides the arch, all of the businesses that I have visited, I've seen, they're like AT&T, there's a Walgreens right next to this gate. You don't see the vibrant small businesses in the Washington, D.C. Chinatown compared to our Chinatown where you have very authentic food, very authentic mom and pop owned local businesses. So this is just an example of how all of the Chinatowns are different, and Washington, D.C. Chinatown, I have to say that they didn't do a good job of historic preservation, preserving the culture, and supporting the local businesses that was once existed there. So next slide, please. So this was me with the same dress. I was in DC again last week, and I visited their exhibition at the New Americans Art Museum. And they're currently having an exhibition about the history of the Washington, D.C. Chinatown. The picture on the right-hand side is a historic picture of how their community fought against displacement and gentrification issues in history. And there were construction, downtown revitalization projects happening at the time in their Chinatown, and their residents, their communities, wanted to preserve and save their own home in their Chinatown. Next slide, please. And here are some other historical pictures. The one on the left is a streetlight design by the DC Office of Planning that they worked with community members to come up with more Chinatown-themed streetlights to enhance the character, the uniqueness of their community. And then the picture on the right-hand side is an affordable housing project back in 1980s. At the time, the DC Chinatown had a convention construction project, and that causes some housing crisis. That causes a housing crisis in their Chinatown. So the community organizations worked together and designed an affordable housing project in 1982, 1983. So next slide, please. So what we saw, the historical photos and the arch photo in Washington, D.C. Chinatown, how they once had a Chinatown but not anymore, is not only unique to their community, and that issue is happening across the country. So on the right-hand side, there's a Washington Post article from 8 years ago, and it's titled, "DC's Chinatown has only 300 Chinese Americans left, and they're fighting to stay." And titles like that are not only unique to Washington. So if you go to the next slide, New York City Chinatown is also facing the same issue. So their Chinatown has been a very vibrant community. However, COVID-19 pandemic really hurt a lot of these small businesses. And on the cover, this is a family-owned local business that has been in business for 66 years, and they decided to close their door. So during the pandemic, a lot of small businesses got hurt, especially the ones in underserved communities, like Chinatown, like here in Las Vegas. A lot of our small businesses got hurt as well. So it's very sad to see stories like this, where a small business closed its door after 66 years in business. So next slide, please. So here's a quote from the article from 2019 to 2021. Economic decline compounded by the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic left Manhattan's Chinatown with a 26% decrease in jobs, 12% more than the New York City average, according to a 2022 impact study commissioned by the organization Welcome to Chinatown. And in April, I was in New York City, and I met with the founder of the Welcome to Chinatown nonprofit organization, which is an organization founded during the pandemic by two young women that I'm very proud to support them. They have been working closely with the small businesses in the Manhattan Chinatown to apply for small business grant assistance program through New York. So the founder told me that before they started this nonprofit organization, the businesses didn't know where to seek help. The small businesses didn't know where they can get assistance funding during the pandemic time. And they missed a $10 million grant opportunity because nobody directed them to submit the application. Nobody told them that this is the department at the state or at the city that you can contact. So they started this nonprofit organization, and they worked with these small businesses, and they hired a consulting company and came up with the small business impact study, and they were able to receive $20 million in small business grant from the Nevada State's Economic Development Department, and that's a huge win for all of those small businesses in their Chinatown. So next slide, please. Here is another article about what New York City is proposing to build the world's tallest prison in the middle of the Manhattan Chinatown. So the local residents are fighting against this project. And next slide, please. And here is a New York Times article about the young generation of Asian Americans are supporting and advocating for the elderly, the early immigrants who unfortunately don't oftentimes have a chance to voice their opinions and concerns due to language barriers, due to cultural difference. So this group of young Asian Americans, they are supporting and trying to help to save Manhattan's Chinatown, which they're very inspiring. So next slide, please. And here's an article about Philadelphia. How many of you have been to the Philadelphia Chinatown? Oh, live there? Yeah, so you must know about the history of what their local residents have gone through. And this article from the New York Times. This picture was taken during a protest against an arena, a stadium project, 6 years, proposing on the edge of its Chinatown. And this is like the third time that this community is doing protest to save their community. The first time was, next slide please, the first time was a highway construction project that cut through the middle of the Philadelphia Chinatown. And the residents against it, but they couldn't stop it. And then the second time, they were against a casino development proposal in the Philadelphia Chinatown area. And that time was in 2008, so the casino didn't happen because of the global financial crisis. And then this is the third time that the residents standing up for themselves to save their own community. So this is another unique story happening at a unique Chinatown. So next slide, please. So what about our story, our Las Vegas Chinatown story? How many of you visited? Well, I'm sure a lot of you have visited Spring Mountain area before Chinatown existed, right? Yes. Okay. So for our Las Vegas Chinatown, it all started with Chinatown Plaza that broke ground in 1993, and then they opened in 1995. So next slide, please. So I grew up in Las Vegas, I was born in China, but I grew up here. I moved here when I was 11. So I love Las Vegas history. I read books about Las Vegas history, and then I've seen the growth of the Strip and how our community have grown outside of the Strip. So here's a historic picture from our friend Clayton White at the UNLV Libraries Oral History Department. And it's a historical picture that shows you the big casinos that are under construction on the Strip. And you can tell that the Bellagio was under construction and the wheel has already opened. And at the same time, our Chinatown Plaza is also part of this picture. So if you go to the next slide, for me, the history of our Chinatown is also part of the history of the greater Las Vegas community. So we are part of the community. We have always been part of the community. And then, so I just want to show you how this historical picture shows, because a lot of people only look at or focus on what's happening on the Strip. And, well, we're all local, so we know that there's a lot more Las Vegas local community offers, and we're more than just a Strip. So Chinatown, Las Vegas is one of those things that we offered off the Strip, and that has been self-started and self-sustained over time, and it's now a very vibrant community and economic hub that blend into the greater tourism economy for Las Vegas. So next slide, please. So here's the groundbreaking historical photo of our Chinatown Plaza, started in 1993, and this is the group of developers and the governor, queen at the time, the state of Nevada. They joined the groundbreaking ceremony, and this is where the history of Las Vegas Chinatown started. Next slide, please. So during 1990s, we all know, as Las Vegas locals, that there was a lot of opening of mega resorts, a lot of tourists flooded into Las Vegas, a lot of jobs being created during that time. The Mirage opened in 1989, MGM Grand, the first MGM Grand, which is the Bally's, opened, and then there are other, the Wheel opened. So at the same time, tourists started to come, and what was a big complaint that the Chinese tourists had, there were a lot of Chinese tourists visited us from California. So what was one big complaint that they had when they visited Las Vegas at that time in 1993, early 1990s? Anyone want to take a guess? No Chinatown? No Chinatown? Anybody else? Food? Anybody else? No good food? Yes. No Chinese gambling games like baccarat, like Macau. Yeah, Pagao. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes. Why? At the time, Chinatown haven't existed yet. So this is when they broke ground on the Chinatown Plaza. They wanted to build a Chinatown. Okay, so you're right. It's the big complaint. Next slide, please. There was no authentic Chinese food. All of these tourists, they came to Las Vegas. They spent money to support our local economy. And as a tourism, customer service town, we want to make sure that they're being treated well, and so they can spend more money and they can come back next time, right? So that group of developers decided to select a location, a piece of land off the Strip, but not too far off the Strip that the tourists can go to, and that's the motivation behind them to build Chinatown Plaza on Spring Mountain. Next slide, please. Yep, so why Spring Mountain Road? At the time, it was an industrial zoned area. Wells Fargo has a mine on Tenaya and Spring Mountain, and Spring Mountain Road just has been used as with trucks, transporting these minerals. So this piece of dirt on Wynn and Spring Mountain was available, and this site is not too off the Strip. So they decided to purchase this site and to build Chinatown Plaza. And when they built it in 1993, they didn't expect that it would grow to a 3-mile long corridor one day, and it's attracting not only domestic but also international tourists. So it all started in 1993, and look how far we have grown. So next slide, please. So that's the picture. Next slide. And here are some of the historical pictures from, again, UNLV Library's special collection, and pictures that show the plaza was under construction. And then here is a finished construction picture of the iconic Chinatown Plaza gate. Next slide, please. And people, they visited, some of the tourists, they visited this plaza through buses between Las Vegas and LA, because there are a lot of LA Asian American groups that wanted to come to Las Vegas, over the weekend to spend money. So there were a lot of buses that used Chinatown Plaza as the bus stop to pick up and drop off people between LA and Vegas. Next slide, please. Here's another picture. Next slide, please. So here are some kids, students, celebrating something that involves a lion dance, which is a traditional performance celebrating festivals or holidays. So next slide, please. So it all goes back to this picture where, while the strip was growing, Chinatown quietly started. And it all started in 1993. And today, next slide, please. Oh, I forgot to mention the naming of Chinatown. So after Chinatown Plaza completed their construction and they opened and they started to attract a lot of tourists with good food, good restaurants, the governor at the time in 1999 decided to designate the section of Spring Mountain from I-15 all the way to Rainbow, a 3-mile long corridor, as Chinatown. So this is how we officially got the name Chinatown for our Las Vegas Chinatown history. Green. And Chinatown is more than just buildings and restaurants. It's a sense of community. When you go visit this area, you meet old friends, you meet new friends, and there are a lot of community events that people go to. Have any of you attended the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year celebration at our Las Vegas Chinatown before? Okay, I'm going to invite all of you to come next year. And next slide, please. And those are some of the pictures I took from past events. This is a Chinese New Year celebration that happened in Chinatown Plaza. They closed down the parking lot, and they used the parking lot as a festival event space, and about 10,000 people showed up. I don't know where people found parking, but somehow they found parking and they showed up for this event. And it was a whole one-day celebration. So next slide, please. So our Chinatown started in 1995-ish when Chinatown Plaza opened, and it has grown so much in the past almost 30 years. And now it's time to make it better, to fix some of the problems that we have, and to make it just like this Rotary Club. We want to be the best of the world, so we want to make it the best Chinatown ever. So Clark County Office of Economic Development, Director Shawnee Coleman and Commissioner Justin Jones came together and say we really need to come up with a redevelopment plan for this area. And then I'm part of the project team that got hired by them to conduct a redevelopment plan to see how we can better improve this area. And that's Commissioner Tick Sigelblum on the right-hand side of the picture, and he's the current chair of the redevelopment agency. And then we made it to a lot of the headline news for a lot of the media coverage, because everybody knows Chinatown. Everybody has visited and eat and shopped in Chinatown before, and it's an area that a lot of people feel like we're connected to it. And we want to see how the area, the community can be improved and support these small businesses. One thing that we have been hearing a lot through our community outreach event is that a lot of these small businesses, it's what made our Chinatown unique and special. So we want to continue to support them. So next slide, please. So that's just some of the media coverage that we have conducted, and not just me, but also with our metro officers. Public safety is a huge concern right now in our Chinatown, which I'm going to get into it later. And then we have interviewed a lot of the small businesses throughout this process too. Next slide, please. And for me, when we first kicked off this project in May, our first meeting was in the last week of March, but our official public kickoff was the first week of May. And when we met the first time, I remember at the county building with the commissioner and his team, I say this has to be a community-driven redevelopment plan, and the community has to be the co-creator of this plan since day one. What happened with a lot of these special area redevelopment plans or master plans is that there's a lack of enough and good community engagement outreach. And so I want to make sure for our redevelopment plan, we have to make sure that the community is being involved since day one, and they are being informed, they're being inspired to share the ideas, to share the comments, and be part of the creation of this plan and be involved in the process. So we have been doing a lot of the focus group meetings. The first top left picture, that was from our kickoff event at Chinatown Plaza. We had 100 people showed up, and all of the media TV stations came. Top right is just me at a pop-up event. I bring these survey. We have a community survey, so I brought the surveys with me, and I asked people to fill it out. Bottom left, we had series of small group meetings with small business owners, residents, with the metro, with property managers, property owners, and community leaders. And in the bottom right, we had a meeting with Clark High School and Spring Valley High School students at one of the local bakeries, because a lot of these students, where do they go after school to get boba tea, to hang out with their friends? Chinatown. So we met with all of these students to make sure that their voices are being heard, which is very important for me to include the youth in these community outreach programs, because whatever we come up with as a plan, we set a 20 years vision, and guess who will be the people, the group of people that will make decisions, that will maintain the vibrant community in this area are the youth today. So it's important for them to be involved. Next slide, please. And we work closely with the metro. Public safety is a very high concern, high priority right now in this area. And then I actually just came from a Spring Valley Area Command meeting today before I came here, and I'm going to share a little bit more with you when I get to the concern slides where people rank the top 3 concerns. So next slide, please. So through our community survey, we gathered 770 people responses who conducted the survey, both in, some in person, some online, which is a very high turnout rate for community survey for a Clark County project, because usually a lot of the public sector projects, you know, we want to make sure that we're informing the community what's happening. So most of them, they eat at restaurants in the area. They live in other Southern Nevada community. They don't live there. They just come here to visit, or they shop in the area. Next slide, please. So what are some of the qualities that Chinatown attracts you to the area? Spring Mountain Corridor. Shopping is the celebration of diverse cultures, and when they say recreational opportunity, it usually means like events, not like park, and because there's no park in Chinatown right now. So hopefully that will change one day. So next slide, please. So what are the challenges do you see the Spring Mountain Corridor faces? Parking and traffic. How many of you have tried to go to Chinatown but you couldn't find parking space? Yes. The second one is walkability. There's so many people jaywalking. The third one is public safety. So next slide. Next slide. I'm just going to fast forward. Next slide, please. And other ideas from the survey, a lot of people want to see a police substation or maybe a smaller scale like a community safety hub. Some people want to see a Chinatown shuttle go up and down Spring Mountain. Some want to see more public art, more trees, parking garage. So these are just some of the ideas that we have seen, we gathered through community survey. Next step. So some of the news coverage are just just shows you that the media has been following this redevelopment plan. So we use the media channels to inform the community of what's happening. Next slide, please. Yep. And the Metro works with us closely, and they recently launched the Spring Mountain Anti-Crime Resource Team, and they added officers, Mike and I, designated for this area and build community trust with small businesses. A lot of the times, the crimes that happen in this area don't get reported because of language barrier. And some of the tourists, their cars break in, but if you're a tourist, you're like, I don't want to deal with, the paperwork and stuff, So it has been underreported a lot of the crime in this area. Next slide, please. Next slide. And then the Culinary Union recently, early this year, bought the old Southwest Gas office building. So we have been communicating with them to see what their vision and how the county can support them. Next slide, please. And the Boring Company bought 2 acres in Chinatown. So maybe there's some opportunity there that we need to pay attention to. Next slide, please. So I know that a lot of people want to see more renderings of the beautification of the street, but for me, an important thing of redevelopment plan is we have to fix the infrastructure first before we talk about how pretty the streetlights should be. We can make the area very pretty, but if it's not safe, people won't come. Small businesses don't feel like their customers and their employees feel safe. So what I always focus on is to work with all of the public and private sectors to make sure that public works involved, RTC is involved, Metro is involved, and all of the private sectors like landlords, developers, business owners, residents, employees are all on the same page, so we can complete a vision for this area that is community driven, and we are working together towards the same goal. So I'm going to stop there. Those are some of the public-private sectors that we're working with, and I put a lot of the logos for Clark County because Clark County is big and they have too many departments. Okay, that's it. So is there any questions or? Yes. So I won't be able to share too much information of the redevelopment plan today because it's still undergoing, but I would like to invite the Rotary Club to Chinatown next year for a food tour, and I can show you guys a few restaurants and share the plan once it's completed. Yes.
First of all, I just want to share with my fellow Rotarians, keep your eyes on Minja because she is unbelievably dedicated and passionate to not only the growth and history of Chinatown, but UNLV, our own Rotary Club that she's worked hard with, and Las Vegas in general. I was in Washington last week as well when Minja was there, and she's just constantly promoting everything about our city. So keep your eyes on Minja. And Minja, tell me if you can, I've seen some other Chinatowns, and it seems like our footprint of geographically is pretty good size. Where does it rank among size-wise of other Chinatowns, and do you look to see more density than growth out? And what's the future of
So I've heard that our Chinatown is actually one of the largest because our corridor is really long. It's from I-15. To me, when in 1999 they designated from I-15 to Rainbow as Chinatown, but I think over time, from a local's perspective, we will see Chinatowns from I-15 to Jones, which is about 2.5, between 2 to 2.5 mile, and the volume of our visitors is huge. We're Las Vegas, and our Chinatown is geographically located right next to the Strip. So we get a lot of visitors, tourists coming from the Strip, but we're not as big as the one in San Francisco. The one in San Francisco is the #2 most visited travel destination in San Francisco after the Golden Gate. Can you believe that? Yes. And a lot of and I would say our Chinatown focus more on small businesses, tourism, and not much for residents, for early immigrants or elderlies compared to the other historical Chinatowns like the one in New York, San Francisco, or Washington, D.C., because Las Vegas is relatively newer city compared to the rest of the cities like New York and San Francisco. So our Chinatown, I'm seeing more of an economic opportunity while improving the community life for the locals.
Okay. Thank you for that. So I grew up in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I saw the Arch Street Chinatown district disappear. And lived in Chicago for a number of years. We're still vital. My observation, and I wonder if you would support this, was that when I was growing up, the Chinatowns were both commercial centers for Chinese businesses and restaurants, as well as residential communities for Chinese to live. What seemed to happen was, as people moved to the next generation, the residential parts of it died but the businesses stayed for a while. And then eventually, like in Philadelphia, the business completely died. So I just wonder whether it's kind of a natural evolution of assimilation, that that may be the fate of all these, not just Chinese, but Chicago had a Swedish community and a Mexican community, and basically the same sort of thing happened over time.
Yeah, when we started this redevelopment plan, we looked into a lot of the anti-displacement and policies and policy that support small businesses, because what you talked about that happened in other Chinatowns, we don't want those to happen here. I want to support the local community, the local businesses, because that's what makes us unique. And the amount of tourism money that Las Vegas Chinatown has been attracting is a huge part that will support the broader Clark County economy. So for the other Chinatowns that, kind of like the one in DC, I don't think they did a good job in historical preservation, because they probably didn't have a master plan early enough before the displacement happened. So for our Chinatown, I think this is a great time for us to launch the redevelopment plan to make sure that we're doing the right things at the right time. Yep. We're good? Oh, I think there's one more. Thank you.
All right, don't go anywhere. I've got something for you. Since you're very dedicated to this city, we would like to give you a copy of our centennial book for our 100 years of serving the community in Las Vegas. Yes, and a certificate for Happy Feet, donating a pair of shoes in your name to the kids at our schools. Thank you very much, Michon. All right, and with that, we will end with Rotary International President Stephanie Yurchik believes in our members and calls on them to recognize and amplify the organization's power to save lives. Let's build something together. Meeting adjourned.